These are some of my favorite moments in life. Once you actually get breastfeeding down, it's quite nice. In a sense, you get relieved when you need to get that milk out. Your baby's relieved; she's eating, and you're bonding. These are the moments that I really love, and yeah, it's one of the things that makes being a mom so awesome, I think. That and watching your baby learn and grow. I'm only making this video now not to show off breastfeeding, but to show off my U pillow because right now that's what I'm using. I just pull the leg right over here and prop her up on it. I like to use a pillow unless I'm doing the other method where I lie on my side and I lie her on her side. I like to use a pillow because before I was just holding her in my arms, it just felt so much more like close and intimate and we're bonding. And then it hit me that I was causing her head to be shaped weird because, yeah, those bones are still coming together. The skull is still soft, and you make an impact based on how you hold their heads. So I was putting these flat spots on one side of her head. When I realized that one side looked different from the other, I freaked out. And then I talked to the pediatrician about it after I talked to my mom. My mom was like, "You don't switch sides?" And I'm like, "It's just easier to have my right hand free, so I always hold her on my left arm." My mom's like, "Yeah, you should switch sides." And I'm like, "Dang it." So I started switching sides to even the odds. So now the other side's gonna have this flat spot too. But at least it's symmetrical. I talked to the pediatrician about that. She said it's perfectly fine. She's still got a lot of growing to do. It will all come together. But yeah, just remember to like rotate their heads when they're napping. Now that's another thing that I saw. Actually, I think it was in the same video, Jordan Page's video, the Fun Cheaper Free channel, where she talks about getting your baby to sleep through the night without crying it out. She talks about rotating the baby's head, like every once in a while they're napping. Like don't let them just stay on one side. But then you get this other advice. I got this advice early on. You nap while your baby naps. That is an excellent piece of advice. I highly advise you to take it. So then that begs the question. If you're napping while your baby's napping, how are you turning your baby's head while your baby's napping if you're also napping? Let me know if you figured out a way to nap and turn your baby's head at the same time. I'm going to be honest with you. I nap sometimes. I try to at least get in one nap a day. Early on, I was napping all the time with my baby because I couldn't do anything else. I was recovering from a C-section. But now, oops, who's the cameraman? There's no cameraman. It's just me. But anyway, now that I am able to do more, I do more. So I typically, hopefully, only get about one nap in. That doesn't mean I'm up watching my baby and turning her head. No, it means I'm cleaning or cooking or binge watching YouTube videos. Some of my favorite channels, well, okay, just maybe a couple because I don't have a lot, but Mazelee and Doodad and Love Withstanding. Yeah, those are a few of my favorite. I think you can understand Mazelee and Love Withstanding why those would be a couple of my favorite, and I will talk about those later because I learned so much from them, and it helped prepare me for some things too because me being black, my husband being Korean, you can understand the appeal, right? If you check them out, yeah, that they are couples where the wife is black and the husband is Korean. There's another one I just started. I just found out about, and the girl, she's biracial. She's Italian. Her mother's white, her father's black. I think her father's actually like African. Beautiful. She's a model, but I can't remember. Is it Beja? Well, I just discovered that one too, so sometimes I watch that. So sometimes I do those things while my baby's napping. But she turns her own head. So I don't worry about that because okay, let me know if you're this way, but I'm that paranoid mom that will stop and like peek in on my little girl to make sure she's still sleeping. And not still sleeping, because I know she's still sleeping. She lets me know when she's awake to make sure she's still breathing. Because sometimes they breathe so softly that you can barely see a movement, and you're like, oh my goodness. And like the first thing that comes to mind is Sis, and you just freak out. Well, I freak out, so I always check in on her. And sometimes when I peek in, she's right in the middle of rolling that head to the other side. So I don't worry about that. But I do worry about that while I'm breastfeeding, or while I'm holding her in general. Try to feed on a pillow or laying down to not have such a hard surface impacting the soft skull. It's just a little bit of advice. If you're like, whatever, my baby's perfect, either way their head looks, and I don't care if she looks like a misshapen grapefruit or whatever, like, hey, that's fine. If it's something that matters to you, that's my bit of advice to you. And so, yeah. Oh, and another bit of advice. Keep water close by. Remember to drink while she's drinking, because when they're not, you just kind of get busy, sidetracked, whatever. You might forget to hydrate yourself. It's very important, especially when you're breastfeeding. Keep yourself hydrated. So keep some water around you. I know the Heidi from the Dude Dad channel, the guy's wife. The guy's name is Taylor. Heidi keeps cups all over her house. She keeps drinking cups all over her house, and that's one of her tips in one of her videos. You just keep them everywhere, because you just never know where you're just gonna stop and feed, right? Like you might have a designated area, but if you don't, or even if you do, but you have your baby's just upset right then and there, and you're just like, oh, it's not worth it trying to get to this place or that place. Just have your cups everywhere so you can stay hydrated. Heidi produced a lot of milk. I hope to be able to be up on her level someday, maybe. But yeah, I would say that's the best advice I can give for breastfeeding. Definitely, I see a lactation nurse if you're struggling with it. I struggle with it. I tried to find videos on YouTube to help me to learn to do it. It's really something that somebody has to be with you in person to really help, because trying to explain it on YouTube, and I'm definitely not going to show you myself, I'm sorry. I really am, because it's frustrating. I really am sorry about that, because I really got frustrated, so I get it. But what I will say is be relaxed. Try your hardest to relax, because it's just not going to work if you don't relax. Have nipple balm. That's I think I'm gonna do another video on that, like stuff that I had for pregnancy and postpartum, so that can be something that's useful to you. But definitely have your nipple balm handy. Have that handy. There's another channel, RnB, I think it's called. The wife's name is Bianca and the husband's name is Royce. They're such a cute couple. And it was from watching her that I was like, yeah, I know I plan to breastfeed. Let me get that nipple balm. So I went and got some. It was wonderful, a lifesaver for the both of us, because when you first start, it's not fun. It's not fun. It does not feel good. It's not fun. Are you finished, sweetie? Are you just taking a break? Thinking about it? Do you want some more? I always offer more. I am that mom that I want a fat kid. I don't know why. At least a fat baby. Not like I want a fat baby. It just makes me feel like she's healthy and happy and I'm doing a good job. And we are speeding up. And do I have your burp cloth next to me? There it is. Good. I didn't completely mess this up, did I? Okay. Here, let's sit you up and burp you. Okay. So yeah, I'll do a video on that at another point. Right now, I'm going to burp my baby. See you next time.